time you're asked an inappropriate question in a job interview, like how old are you, what does your husband do, and how many kids do you have, this is what I want you to say. You could certainly say, well, I'm not really sure how that is relevant to how I'm qualified for this position. I'm happy to talk about my work experience and how qualified I am for this role. Or you could say something like, I don't think you can ask that in a job interview. Or if they ask you, what does your husband do? You can say something sassy like, whatever I tell him. Or if they say how many kids you have or do you have children, you can say, not with me. And if they ask you how old you are, you can say, well, I'm over 18 if that's what you're worried about. You see, they know they're not supposed to be asking you these questions. So why not have a little fun with it? You can be direct and tell them that they can't ask you these questions. You can tell them that you would rather talk about your work experience and how qualified you are for the position and redirect them back to your resume. Or you could just get up and leave, but I'd rather have a little fun with them. For more tips on how to interview better, follow me, get an Interviewology profile to discover your interview style, and good luck in your upcoming job interviews. There's a rapid fire list of sneaky interview questions that are meant to trap you into volunteering information that hiring managers legally cannot ask you. What a beautiful accent. Where are you from? Oh, are you in the city or the suburbs? Is English your first language? Oh yeah, I graduated college in 2010. What about you? I just love Christmas. Do you require any special holidays off? We go out for a lot of happy hours. Do you drink? My husband's a partner at a law firm. What does yours do? Oh, you're not married? Do you have kids? It's kind of a boys club in here sometimes. Do you think you could manage a team of all men? Oh God, I wish I could retire. How much longer do you think you're going to work until you retire? The guy in this current role he's just a workaholic. I mean, he never stops. I mean, do you like to use your PTO? Did you play sports in high school or college? How's the job search going? You actively interviewing? I know it feels really conversational and it feels like they really want to get to know you and you're really bonding in the interview, but they are not. This is a trap. They are going to use the information that they gather against you. So whatever you do, don't answer these questions. Don't share personal details about yourself. Just turn it back on them. Ask them questions. Get it back to the job and the company. Another devastating loss. You bombed yet another job interview despite having 4 weeks to prepare. Yeah, that was definitely a tough one. I thought that I could just wing it, figured, how hard could it be? What do you have to say for yourself? I can't turn back time. I thought it was the right move at the time. I didn't want to come across as too scripted. Did your clothing choice impact your performance? Clothing choice is always going to impact it, right? Unfortunately, I was in a weird headspace and I didn't have my navy suit from the dry cleaner. What do you say to your critics that say not doing any research and not practicing any standard interview questions was the reason for your downfall? At the time, I thought it was the right move. I didn't want to come across as too scripted. I didn't want to come across as too prepared. But ultimately, I ended up coming across, not prepared at all. Any words to the person who interviewed you who said, and I quote, "She wasted my time and quite frankly, we are embarrassed for her." She got out there and she played it right, nothing but respect for her. I thought I was prepared, but she was really prepared with all those, tough, behavioral questions. So nothing but respect. This company has been a place where you've wanted to work for quite some time and you knew this interview was coming up. It's all in how you look at it. I'm not the type of person who's going to make a big deal out of this. I really felt like I did my best. I felt like I was really prepared, but I really wasn't. Thank you. Thanks. Back to you. I'm going to save you a lot of misery and a lot of stress and aggravation. If you've been looking for a job and let's say you've gone on a final round interview and you're waiting for them to call you, I know what you're thinking. When should I reach out? What should I do? After every job interview, you should send a thank you email. After that, you do nothing. You calling them, you emailing them, it doesn't look good and it's not going to expedite their process. If they're not calling you, no message is a message. If you are continuing to stress about whether or not this company is going to make you an offer, you need to be applying to other jobs. I've been doing this a very long time and I'll tell you one thing. I will guarantee you this one thing. I would only ever trust action. Just because at the end of the interview they said, this went really well, or you can expect an offer, or we'll be in touch soon, I wouldn't believe it until I see it, until I had a signed offer letter with a start date. Until you have that, you keep interviewing. Never, ever put all your eggs in one basket. If you are in this position right now and you're just waiting for an offer because you know it went really well and they haven't called you, no message is a message, which means get your ass back out there and continue to interview. If you want a job offer, ask these questions in your next job interview. And you can trust me because I got famous by teaching you all what to lie about in job interviews. And previously I was a director of talent acquisition, so I know exactly how corporate hiring works. First and foremost, whatever you do, never ever ask them, are there any reasons why you wouldn't want to hire me? Don't say that. They're not going to be honest with you. And also you're just planting seeds of doubt in their mind. Instead, ask these questions. Why is the position open? What's your management philosophy? Can you explain to me the dynamics of the team? What projects are you currently working on that I could help you with? How do you think this role will evolve with me in it? What are you most excited about? I'm sure your clients are very pleased with your work. Can you tell me more about that launch that you did back in March? How could I set myself up for success? Anything I could do to prepare for this role that I haven't done already? What advice would you give someone like me starting out in their career? What's one thing you wish you knew when you started working here? What's the biggest disappointment you've faced with a client? What specifically are you looking for in your next executive vice president? What are your goals for this position and how do you define its success? Do you feel valued here? For more tips on how to interview better, follow me. Get an Interviewology profile to discover your interview style. Are you a charmer, challenger, examiner, or harmonizer? And you can also get my book, Interviewology, The New Science of Interviewing. Common phrases that you may hear in your next job interview, and I'm going to tell you what they really mean. You're our top candidate. They say this to everyone after they've had a good interview because you can become the top candidate after a great interview. What are you currently making? They're interested to see if you fit within their salary band. They also want to see if you're going to fall for this question and tell them what you're currently making. If I were you, I would never answer this question directly. I would always say, what is this position paying? In fact, this question is illegal in a lot of states, so do your research ahead of a job interview. We'd like for you to meet the entire team, and we'd also like for you to do this presentation. We are an organization that can't make a decision, and we're also going to see how much work we can get out of you without paying you. At the end of an interview, when they say, this was so great, thank you so much, we'll get back to you, and then they don't, that means that they are not interested. No message is a message. It's quite possible that your interview performance was great. It is quite possible that you were, at some point in the interview process, their top candidate. But they interviewed someone else who they liked better. They interviewed